who is hosting Saturday Night Live tonight, July 21, 2018 inches. Tonight's Saturday Night Live repeat is hosted by the star of the biggest movie of the year, the Black Panther himself, Chadwick Boseman. Some of the cast members of Saturday Night Live are taking the summer off to make movies, and as funny as they are, their theatrical efforts will most likely only pale in comparison to what first-time SNL host Chadwick Boseman was able to do at the box office in the first half of 2018. Chadwick starred in the Marvel Films blockbuster Black Panther, which not only brought the first major black comic book superhero to life in his own movie, but so far, has brought in nearly $700 million at theaters nationwide. That's not even mentioning Chadwick Boseman's other film out this summer, Avengers: Infinity War, in which he reprises his Black Panther role. All this movie star power is what made Chadwick Boseman a perfect choice to be a rookie host on Saturday Night Live this past season. The episode he hosted on April 7, 2018 will re-air tonight at 11:30 p.m. on NBC. When this show first ran, the entire bang offered congratulations to the team for a tight episode. For his hosting debut, Chadwick didn't make it to the SNL main stage until about 2 months after Black Panther became a box office phenom this past February. This was something that the host played off of in his SNL monologue, where he dressed more like a comic book villain than superhero. He lamented that by the time he finally arrived on SNL that all the good Wakanda, Black Panther's African homeland, sketches had already been done. He hilariously mentioned how earlier SNL season 43 host and Black Panther co-star Sterling K. Brown already got to do a Wakanda sketch, and Sterling was only in the film a few minutes before being killed. A frustrated Chadwick Boseman didn't mind throwing out some spoilers. The cold open for tonight's Saturday Night Live rerun saw the awaited return of Alec Baldwin as President and Putin BFF, Donald J. Trump. The sketch featured Trump at press conference with the leaders of the Baltic states, Estonia, Lithuania and Stankonia. The opener featured SNL's Donald trying to remind himself not congratulate Vladimir Putin on yet another presidential election victory in Russia. This bit brings on a whole new layer of irony after Trump's Helsinki hookup this past Monday with the Russian strongman. The sketches in tonight's Saturday Night Live repeat were a tour de force of comedy writing and performing. Our favorite was the return of Black Jeopardy. It was a classic example of the amazingly funny work done by the Saturday Night Live writers. Host Chadwick Boseman appeared as a contestant as his Marvel superhero alter ego, T'Challa, the true identity of the Black Panther and sovereign leader of Wakanda. The sketch was filled with too many fall-down laughing jokes to count and is definitely worth a second watch tonight, and if you DVR tonight's SNL Best Of, it's worth a third and fourth watch too, just to catch all the great lines in this superbly done piece of comedy. Another popular sketch from tonight's show features three adult women who are on a girls' trip to Disneyland and head to the Princess Castle to look into the magic mirror and find out which Disney princess matches their personality. Cast members Cecily Strong and Melissa Villaseñor play the tourist along with Leslie Jones, who doesn't exactly see the princess she was hoping for. Tune in tonight to find out who appears in Leslie's personal princess magic mirror. It's one of the rare sketches where Leslie Jones shines, playing outside of her own standard Leslie Jones gimmick. During the show, Chadwick Boseman also plays a doctor who's the lead researcher on a project that creates the world's first pregnant man, played by Mikey Day. The man in question finds out there's an unseen technical problem with a male giving birth. There's also a sketch where Chadwick is joined by Kenan Thompson, Kate McKinnon and Cecily Strong as a singing quartet in a restaurant complaining to manager after their meal. Then there's a sketch that may cause racial indigestion about white moviegoers and Black Panther fans who are encouraged not to do the Wakanda Forever salute. Finally, there's a sketch that the I originally described as the only one glaringly bad sketch in the bunch this week. Just a slight warning here that this sketch might take away all the fun of watching an otherwise great repeat episode of SNL. The sketch is called Warehouse Fire and it's 4 minutes of confusion and jokes that make you say, "What are they talking about?" instead of laughing. It involves the fire department, a fireman who needs to leave the fire early, and something to do with dogs and dolls. If you enjoy odd, silly sketches, then stick around, or else just find something else to do during these 4 minutes tonight. Tonight's repeat Saturday Night Live offers 3 SNL digital shorts, 2 of which are parody spots. One being for a new board game, The Game of Life, Dark Edition, where players could find themselves in roles like businessman, stay-at-home spouse, or a dreamer baby dodging immigration while trying to have a life in the United States. The other digital short parody commercial was for a product sure to be a hit with women couch potatoes called Lady Nike Pro Chiller Leggings, for women who go to the extreme when it comes to relaxing. This SNL digital short introduced us to the term couch panini. The third short of the night was an incredibly fun comedy and music video sketch called ADB and Cardi B, featuring the wonderful Aidy Bryant, who has become obsessed with musical guest Cardi B and her latest album and now aspires to be like her music hero and starts speaking her mind a little too far. The Weekend Update news team of Colin Jost and Michael Che are at their best in tonight's SNL rerun with hilarious jokes covering topics including President Trump sending the National Guard to the Mexican border, Chinese exports, Trump's new tariffs, Shade Queen Trump's attacks on Amazon, Stormy Daniels' 60 Minutes interview, new security at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, and injury at the Masters Golf Tournament. an Australian stabbing, feces on an NYC subway, whale singing, and ramen noodle day. Stopping by the Weekend Update news desk were a very nervous Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, Alex Moffat, preparing to testify in front of Congress, and one of our favorite Woo characters, Angel, every boxer's girlfriend from every movie about boxing ever, brilliantly played by a great addition to the cast this past season, featured player Heidi Gardner. Tonight, Angel talks about the good news happening this week and the bad news happening in her own life. In the promos for tonight's encore presentation of Saturday Night Live, cast members Kate McKinnon, Alex Moffat and Kenan Thompson have trouble distinguishing the Black Panther movie from reality, and in the next set, host Chadwick Boseman is joined by musical guest Cardi B and cast member Leslie Jones, who wants a little more excitement out of the first-time host. Tonight enjoy one of the best episodes of Saturday Night Live season 43 as Chadwick Boseman hosts this SNL repeat with musical guest Cardi B at 11:30 p.m. on NBC.